What's up, guys? R6 for Eternity here. Wow, I just killed my own name. R6 for Eternity here. Making a little update video for you guys. I made one on the computer and went to upload it, and there was no audio. so now I get to redo it. I'm actually doing it on my phone right now, out in the car. And if you're wondering what the cowboy hat's for, 1, I live in Texas. 2, I deal with horses. And 3, it's hotter than hell. And like I said, I just want to make a little update video for you guys, explaining where I've been, what's going on, why I haven't posted any videos in the past like 9.5 months or something like that. So, yeah. So, basically, the last video y'all saw, I was staying in a hotel room at the time. And for about a month after that, no, it would have been, I don't even remember, but either shortly before that or after that, I had my 05 R6, Scarlett was her name. I ended up having to sign that bike back over to the previous owner. I lost my job. I missed about 3 payments in a row, so I ended up having to sign her back over with $1,000 left to pay her off. But, you know, that's just one of those things that happened. And then a couple months after that, I ended up having to move back in with my mother because of just not being able to keep up with rent and shit like that. Bills were stacking up like crazy, so ended up having to do that. Still was out of a job, so you know, I hit rock bottom, guys. I really did. And then I applied for school at Amarillo College for their auto tech program, and I got accepted and all that. And in, I want to say, in September, I got my financial aid and my loans and stuff like that. Got all my stuff for classes. Everything was going good, and I had about $1,600 left over. And I had about $1,800 left over. You know, and so I decided that I was gonna look for another bike that I could pay for outright in cash, not have to worry about it. And I found one, and I gave that bike the name of Clary. And in case of you are wondering, it's short for Clarissa. And that was a 2003 Suzuki GSX-R 600, a 40th anniversary. I had a crash cage on it and all that. And I had that bike for about a month. And then October 27th, I believe, 24th or 27th, within those couple of days, I was riding from my house here in Canyon to Amarillo. If any of you guys are local, I was riding up VFW, northbound, and this was at about 11:30 at night. Nobody else on the road, either direction. I was all by myself. It's pitch black out. I've got my high beams on. You know, I'm in full gear, helmet, jacket, boots, gloves, the whole 9 yards. Only thing that I didn't have that was super protective was I was wearing jeans. And I got probably about 1.5 miles from my house, and I had a 3 or 4 year old horse walk out in front of me, a colt. Weighed about 1,200 pounds. ish. And I was doing 60 miles an hour, which where I was at was the speed limit. Sorry about the truck going by, or trucks going by. I literally live right on the access road of a highway, so. But it walked out in front of me. I panic stopped and ended up locking up the front brake. Front end washed out. Low-sided the bike. The crash, I broke my left side collarbone, fractured a couple of ribs, dislocated my shoulder on that side. Road rashed up both my knees pretty good. So that happened in October. And because of that, I ended up having to drop out of school because I couldn't drive. I could hardly walk, much less go to school. It was hard for me just to sleep at night because of all that. So, and this isn't a sob story or anything like that, but it's just letting you guys know what's been going on and why I haven't made any videos lately. And the damage done on the bike, the entire front cluster area was completely destroyed. Broke my clutch lever off, broke the rear set on the shift side off, or not the rear set, but the peg on the left side, and they were folding pegs, and it hit just right. It sheared it off. Obliterated the plastics, pretty much all the entire nose cone. All the plastics there were destroyed. The front fender got ripped completely off. Rashed up the front rim, not too badly though, surprisingly. Thankfully, again, it had a crash cage on it, just a single hoop crash cage, and thank God, because that saved the motor. That completely saved the motor. And it's just one of those things that it makes you realize. It makes you realize a lot. That I could have. It's one of those things you realize. Damn, I could have just fucking died right then and there, and nobody would even know. And I was wearing a backpack that had about 40 pounds worth of stuff in it, including my nebulizer and the medicine for that. Had my computer, had shit like that. Thankfully, the computer was fine. That damn thing was a tank. Quite literally, it was a tank. But after that, I spent the next couple of months rebuilding the bike, turning it into a street fighter. And then Christmas, I got some money from family. I put that into the bike. Thankfully, I had a spare helmet and jacket that I was able to borrow. Well, I say a spare, but it was a helmet and a jacket that I was able to borrow. And I got the bike back up and running for 3 days, and then my new levers came in, or it didn't break my clutch, it broke my front brake lever. And so I was riding it for 3 days without front brakes, which, yeah, stupid, I know. What can I say? I was really impatient to be back on a bike, considering I hadn't ridden for a couple of months. So my new levers come in, and I put them on, and everything's working great. This is the fourth day. The fourth day I've had this bike fixed and running and working right. And I went to a buddy of mine's in Amarillo, over on, again, if y'all are local, over on 45th and Western. He doesn't live there anymore, but it was an apartment complex. And he lived on the second floor, so I couldn't bring my bike inside. So I got there right around like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I was gonna stay the night there. So another of our friends comes over about midnight. Bike's still there, no issues, nobody's messed with it or anything. And I went out to check on it at about 1:30 before I went to bed, and the bike was gone. Completely just poof, disappeared. It had been stolen. And I hadn't even had this bike all that long. I hadn't even registered the thing in my name. Registered or insurance or any of that stuff. And again, I know, stupid. Should have had all that shit taken care of as soon as I got it. But either way, the bike was stolen. And before anybody says, oh, you should have locked your bike up, I had a military grade lock through the front brake rotor to where you could not roll that bike. It literally takes a cutting torch to get through one of those. Bolt cutters won't cut it. I mean, you're literally talking, you'd either need a cutting torch or, for you automotive guys, a death wheel, a cutting wheel. And, both of those are noisy, for one. And for two, the lock was not there, which means it was still on the bike. But that happened January 3rd. Less than 2 weeks from my birthday was when that bike got stolen. And then after that, everything just went downhill from there. I mean, just really, really went south. Still can't find work. The car I'm in right now, it went down for a month. Had to buy another vehicle. Now that vehicle's in the shop while this one's running. It's just, and because of my bike getting stolen and then this car going down, I had to drop out of my second semester of school. So that's 2 semesters in a row now I've had to drop out because of other shit. And, it's been one thing after another, after another, after another. And I mean, it's little shit that just adds up and adds up and adds up and adds up. And then pretty soon, all of a sudden, it's overwhelming. And about, I think, 2 months after two and a half months after my bike gets stolen, my girlfriend at the time, we broke up. So all the shit that happened with my bike and with school and all that, and then I lost my girl. I was in a really, really dark place, a really dark place. And then something just clicked in my head, and I brought myself out of that. I started doing airsoft with some friends, and going out there and doing that stuff, and shit like that. I started talking to people again. I started talking to friends again. I started going and doing stuff. I got on a pool league. And then that fell through 2 months later. When half the team says, "Oh, by the way, we can't do it," a week before it's supposed to start. That kind of throws a kink into everything. So, and again, without a job, all this stuff, it's just Mountain Dew. Good stuff. Mountain Dew and Marlboros. It's just one of those things that you don't see the shit coming. You just don't see it coming. And when it hits, it's not something that's easy to take or easy to swallow. A couple of things have gotten better. Me and my girl got back together. So that's all good. This car's running right now. My other car's done, but it's going to cost me about $600 to get it out of the shop. So, and that's just a nightmare in itself right now. But it's the stuff that you don't see coming that really gets to you, that really gets you down. that really just kicks you in the ass. It does. And, you know, yes, my videos have ads, stuff like that. That's to try and maybe make something off these videos, you know. That's not what I do it for, though. I do it because I like to talk to you guys. I really do. I like to talk to you guys. I like talking about topics. I like giving my opinions on stuff, you know. And I live in Texas, so look, more 18-wheelers. But, you know, I live in Texas. I'm sitting out here in a black car with a black and gray interior, sweating my ass off to make you guys a video. To make you a video. Because I enjoy it. And, you know, when I first started this channel back in 2012, I believe, at that time, it was just it was kind of just a throwaway channel. It really was. You know, it was something that where I could subscribe to the people that I liked and watch their videos. And then, you know, I posted a few videos of Scarlett. You know, and oh god, that bike was a debacle in itself. You know, I got pulled over twice in 3 days on that bike. The first one, the day I got it running, and then 3 days later, I wasn't pulled over, I got in a fucking accident. You know, and it's just, that bike was a debacle. But, you know, guys, if y'all got topics you want me to talk about, or y'all want to talk about, leave them in the comments, you know. I do my best to regularly check my videos to see who's commented, to see if anybody's, you know, put any ideas in the comments or anything like that. You know, I really haven't posted anything on my Instagram, so can't really do that. But, you know, if you guys are new and you like what I'm doing, subscribe, like the video. I mean, it's just, I'm just happy to be able to do this, to be able to make videos for you guys, just because I can. And none of y'all have to do this if you don't want to. I have set up a Patreon account. If you want to do anything like that, any money that I get on there is probably going to go towards a new bike, new gear, registration, insurance. But mainly just a new bike, new gear, maybe some tools for working on the bike, you know, some like wheel stands or something, you know, simple stuff, you know, nothing crazy. You know, and then once I've got that, then I can put money into a GoPro, you know, stuff like that, and start doing some motovlogs for you guys. And you can see some of the idiotic drivers that are in this area, because they're bad. They are really, really bad. But like I said, guys, if you like what I'm doing, if you like the videos, hit the thumbs up, give me a like. If you want to, subscribe. And I'm gonna try and start doing this on a lot more regular basis. I'm not gonna try and jump straight into stuff like daily vlogs and stuff like that. You know, unless you guys really want to see that stuff. It's kind of hard. It's a little bit hard for me right now. But if you guys really want to see that, I'll do my best. I will do my absolute best to fulfill that. But until next time, guys, this is R6 for Eternity. And I'm just going to tell y'all one last thing. Be safe, have fun, and keep the rubber side down. Deuces.